Hello, my name is Hayden Wayne. I'm going to read you part 5 from my latest collection, In the Street Between Wormholes. There's a strange aplomb about you. There's an estranged plum about you as well. This is it. Time has made it so. The need to dream, exponentially refining, defining evolution. Reality has been supplanted. Did you ever think we would become virtual this fast? Never had we needed to be more conscious. But since we've chosen, why not then journey further into our dreams, fully aware in another universe? In our devolving state of reality, where we choose not to be responsible for our actions, certainty will lessen. What is real anyway? Nihilist? Altruist? I document my witness through meditation. It's really a full-time thing, more hours than will fit into a day. Linear resonance around and through me, as if gravitational forces pull me towards grace, opening up endless sensorial possibilities in order to expand with the light. Stumbling upon a seed pod, needing to take the fruit, I carry it in my pocket, a universe for future harvest. Surrounded by inevitability, refusing to give in, surrender abounds. This new generation, cowards to retain one's identity, yet peer implication renders me impotent, mellifluous potential only to be lost on the deaf. How cruel youth, trapped within an aging mainframe, endless possibilities impaired by the certainty of rust. How free this spirit, oblivious to gravity, soaring endlessly amongst the stars, timeless fluidity unbound. How inescapable, ever encroaching, until cleaved, free once more, a seed to return to another pod. Crows. It was, as I remember, as if the rumble of a motorcycle gang entering, terrorizing the neighborhood, blatantly splatty, caw, 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 wafting back and forth across the sky as they secured their turf. But now, so confident for so long, seeming skeptical, their vocal utterances, ha! 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 have turned more a damnation, a condescension. Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! After being introduced as an important symphonist by a colleague. Does he have any chamber music? Yes, my colleague continues, a cycle of 10 string quartets, interrupting. Do you have any duets is addressed to me, immediately followed by, do you have any solo pieces? I respond, I even have pieces for no people. Political stand-up. 2 comics, a script we will no longer accept, absurd in its self-degradation, and yet we as players allow direction when it is we who should direct. Equality. Since time immemorial, reptilian lust has made slaves of us, either killed in battle or saved in pubescent youth, castrated to end bloodline, impressed into conquering armies, or sold into a master's household's service. This is not a new concept. Pharaoh needed his cities to be built. King Cotton needed to be picked. And if males are not physically, emotional and intellectual castration continues to this day. Who says there isn't equality? We, the vanquished, are still proving this. Women, chattel, are birth mothers of so many diverse colors of light, our sensorial being, without which we become reptilian. Inertia. Edgy, paranoid, emotional, distracted, unconscious, until we have been pushed beyond return. Out of control. Free falling. Breathe deep. Find your center. Listen. How loud it is. Breathe. Know who you are. Time and space. Breathe. Looking in the mirror. Punctuated equilibrium, seemingly stable, but a phase change in physics caused a physical modification of matter, creating a metamorphosis in biology, changing its form. Looking in the mirror, I don't know which side of my face to shave. Left? Right? Too much politics. Maybe I'll brush my teeth instead. Right hand? Left? Which hemisphere? Am I linear or full picture? Maybe I should comb my teeth and brush my hair. I parallel park. Which universe am I in? What time is it? Oh, I'm standing still. No time. Statically staring into the ferment of the quantum molecular world, I wonder which side of the divide the transition to life will occur. Samsara, death, rebirth, Big Bang, Big Crunch. Where am I in this repeating cycle? Just the fact I contemplate the movement has started. Time is alive because it moves. I brush my face, comb my teeth, shave my hair, bathe in the primordial soup a polymerase enzyme crawling along an unzipped strand of DNA, forging the links to match up unpaired nucleotide bases with complementary ones within this environment of creation, superpositioning as in quantum theory, where wave-like atoms and molecules overlap and coherently combined. I embrace myself. Could this be love? Timeless as ingredients remain, regardless of outcome, infinite zeros behind any number of possibilities, I floss my ears, positioning myself for flight, released, one of an endless quiver of arrows to soar, find its mark, resume its process. Rebirth, redeath, revival, return, renaissance, Homo florenzinus, Homo neanderthalis, Homo nedali, Homo sapien, 3 billion chemical base pairs, 25,000 genes, human DNA, self-replicating micro-nano enzymes through intelligent design, editing, perpetuation through immense periods of time, infinite obstacles, correcting, copying necessary information in order to continue, microcosmic into macrocosmic into inevitable singularity in order to begin again, while simultaneously finishing, contracting into infinite nothingness, a spark waiting to ignite. Subject or object? Am I subject or the object of affection? Am I just to listen, not reply? Are you talking with or to or at me? Is that why you look me in the eye? Within locked stares, reaching out for feeling. No prevailing winds felt in this gaze. Floating endless seas, no land to reach for, just ourselves to come out of this maze. Annealing. 1 + 1 = 4. Synergy. Exponential power beyond the sum of its parts. Loyalty, the glue that holds us together beyond subjective wants. Trust, unshaken knowledge predicated upon proven outcome. Three candidates. Is this really the best we can do? Is this what the audacity of hope has wrought? Wake up, America! A foul wind is blowing. We, hypnotized by our own impotence, so in need of likes, too busy to see our grace, dancing so not to ask the questions, long enough so not to know to ask. Still thyself, hear the noise. Profound. Bald ego. O winged soul who flies so free awash in amber light, majestic in your path to me, with crown and tail so white, and eyes ablaze, a yellow gold like lasers burning true, the glory of your power told, I witness watching you. How many million years you've known a virgin land so green? How many, many countless souls you shared this land pristine, with melted snow-capped mountains, streaming water pure and clear, the bluest skies and teeming life, a balanced biosphere. So endless was this bounty, so sweet for all this earth. Our native mother selflessly, who gave us all our birth, the glory that was here for all, some knew how to sustain. Their lessons were perpetual, but they themselves were slain. Instead of being humble and grateful just to share, instead of being sound and whole, greed begot despair. You look at me disdainfully, aware of broken trust. I feel ashamed my brethren's sacrifice this land through lust. And now so rapidly devolved, a lifeless ashtray grows, as we defile incessantly and wanton bloodshed flows. We think we are superior and have God on our side. This the very reason why so many souls have died. You wing majestically so high with a godly view across my path and look at me. Am I pure and true? And though that I may stumble, my awe will never end. To make this world a better place, I always will defend. A political limerick. Progenitors prestidigitation, invent pyrotechnical sensation, entertaining this flammable nation, seduced by all puerile legislation. Candidates setting themselves so on fire, as if burning is the thing to admire, claiming to take us higher and higher, while we all stagnate in endless quagmire. What happened to all the rational thought, something so pure that it cannot be bought? Morals and ethics, the good book once taught, the art of the deal, until they are caught. Salesmen of every conceivable ilk, pushing the packet for all they can bilk. Used cars, tomorrows, on quicksand and silt. Foundations so sure, the first thing to tilt. Will we be ever to tame such a beast? Backslapping sycophants, loving the feast. Return constitutional rights they fleeced? Not unless we remove all who were greased. This depression, this space, this hole, this terminal abyss, this infinite emptiness, this static darkness, this oblivion, this unconsciousness, this singularity, this spark, this ignition, this burst of light, this erupting consciousness, this evolution, this synergy, this yearning, this unfathomable need, this unquenchable wanting, this lethal hunger, this expanding ache, this depression. Leaves falling like snow, psyche frozen. With such lust for social media, stealth is still the ultimate freedom. This Marathon life only over when you stop. Keep moving. Racist, xenophobic, sexist, misogynistic, anti-EPA, dismissive of climate change, our president-elect, King Trump, our mirror, ourselves on a precipice, a widening crevasse, with no apparent bridge to mend the hurt, the hate, the indifference. What is truly terrifying are the 11 million people who voted for this megalomaniac. Don't tell me history doesn't repeat itself. It was the hinterland populace that was first enamored, while the cognoscenti of the cities laughed him off, and then found themselves overrun by the insanity that was Hitler. We are the only ones to blame. The moral depravity of Caligula rising. To all the Republicans who feel morally entitled to meddle in women's reproductive rights, now that you have Donald Trump for your presidential choice, how does it feel having to take something you don't want to full term? Fear, very powerful, focused, knowing every crease, betwixt and between, twilight and darkness, every secret, hope, relief, the precious pursuit of ephemeral oneness, all turned material, thus something that can be taken away. We were rock and roll. The pill, the streets, something to take, something to believe in. We were lovers, innocent to carnal need, lusting always. Yes, indeed. If we never ever, ever never, how deeply we loved. As we prepare for another journey around the sun, I cannot help but feel my life is just begun. I am not alone and embrace us all as one, and will not stop until this vision is done. Much more than shading us beneath your leaves, this gift against the sun's broiling freeze, much more than roots as long as you stand tall, much more than vibrant colors in the fall, much more than your support throughout the day, as I lean against your flesh and dream away. Much more than how we both are fixed in time, so wrapped within this awe, so still, sublime. Much more than watching stars slip across the sky. We ancient mariners, you and I. The distance of once upon a time, filtering the totality of sensory awareness, robust color dimming into monochrome, fading into an ever-shrinking displacement, immediacy once full and lush rendered transparent, evaporating immense multidimensional chapters into spectral nano-recollection. Once upon a time, there was this kingdom with crystal blue sunny skies, where it rained only after sundown, and promise was unabound. Once upon a time, we were innocent. The world was full of wonder, and whatever thread of darkness seemed to shrink from this light. It was as if spring had arrived, would never leave, and we, so in awe. Everything was possible. A walk on the moon. Once upon a time, there was an imminent threat of thermonuclear war. Once upon a time, we came a baby's breath away from extermination through the machismo of military confrontation. Once upon a time, we had a prince who unraveled the complexities of fear, found a peaceful solution, promoting that these dark forces be dismantled, never to threaten us again. Once upon a time. When I was 15, ache and massive psychic trauma engulfed us, fresh, refusing to abate, innocence shattered, the death of Camelot, our young prince gone. His princess's facial expression within her blood-spattered pink dress, surreal disbelief shared by all who prided this kingdom of light and promise, asking not what our country could do for us, but what we could do for our country. Now smothering, smoldering in demonic darkness, this interminable winter of our discontent. How often are we blessed with promise? An inspiring synergy to be more than ourselves, embodying the ebullience of light. As spring approached, a wind began to blow from across a vast ocean, a fresh wind, new and surprising, a most welcome, needed wind. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't kiss and tell. It's my secret. The indelible stickiness of your essence for me to wear. Mine. For as long as I remember this moment suspended, specific, your gift. No matter how we coincide, it is I who live within this sacred place, as you with me, as we escape our bonds. To hear your breath as one with mine, so close, sublime. I hold you, such a world to not let go. And as I love you, love me as you wish to be, you and I, and all you'll see this moment forever ours. Remembering my father as a toddler climbing into his bed, having me step into his hands, while I held on to the headboard as he pressed me up into the air, balancing as an acrobat prodded to stand up straight and let go. How I giggled, how he smiled, my trusted catcher, for me to fly, how I welcomed the repeated rituals of our mornings. finally growing too large for my father to lift, and my response, "You're getting old." My old man of 33 or 4, his facial expression etched in my memory for me to repeat with my son so many decades later, to remember so many lifetimes ago, still fresh and innocent, the laughter embracing us as I stood so high above the world. This wind freshening, stiffening with every blow, a clash of temperatures, colliding, swirling. Hear it cry, pressing, bending all and everything, moaning, lashing out in and through a window of what's to come. Hope. The audacity of hope, wishing for things to get better. I don't believe in hope. Hope is to relegate yourself only active in wishing, seeing yourself a victim in need, yearning to be helped in order to be more than less, not able to evolve without additional intervention, having to desire for something to come, believing it will get better beyond your present state of being, beyond your self-perceived insignificance, hope being the only thing in motion, as opposed to having unshakable resolve to make it so, whatever you can imagine to better yourself, and doing it through relentless pursuit, fulfilling the vision of not settling or giving in until you have achieved your goal. As Mama used to say, wishing don't make it so. Yes, one must visualize first in order to bring it to fruition, but in a world where anything and everything is possible, it is obviously about the choices we make. As Mama also used to say when confronted by obstacles, "Oh yeah? Watch me." How relaxed you've become, outing your secrets. How seemingly indifferent. Memories still lingering for a different past, burned by insidious elements. So, we imagine a different scenario, what it would be like now, if human potential had interceded. The outcome's still the same. This moment, sacred for the next 7 generations. Weightless, moving at the speed of light, untethered by gravity, aware of total being, ageless within the static perfection of timelessness, all-seeing, all-knowing, deep, primordial memory oscillating within and through solar dust, cosmic singularity, total noise and absolute silence, the purity of light within the purity of darkness, always, never ending, never beginning, a continuum, infinite light from infinite darkness, consciousness, complete, perfect. I can trust you. It's more important than poetry. Sleeping like spoons, as opposed to nettles rubbing against silk, pulling, blemishing perfection. And yet, be free. The thread lifted from the smoothness brings unique character. No need to fixate. The perfection is the story, continually unfolding. Out of the inky blackness, steel rails sing their siren song, quietude shattered, trumpeted warnings, the oncoming snaking umbilical cord, freight train rattling through the night. Strength, the purity of heart, soul, and fortitude, a pyramid to stand the test of time, and I aware of how much I have been alone, distracted from this hurt. Through the constant pursuit of light, a body of proofs I have created, documenting the glory of beauty around me. Within the noise I have stilled myself to hear, and yet it seems I'm the only one. For I swim in waters amongst the deaf and blind, indifferent to share this vision I have for so long refined, with a quicksilver dexterity, transcribing the path I travel, unfathomable, constant, pure. This momentary pause. Am I so self-indulgent, aware of my wound, my aching heart, so in need to share? For certainly I have chosen this path, this priesthood dedicated, this moment suspended in time, now and forever. Convinced the opening motif of Handel's B-flat major harp concerto was inspired by a male cardinal's love song, I run it through my mind within the silence before his mate's return of mutual affection. Such a lovely duet, accompanied by the back and forth, oscillating ostinato, soaring of crickets. A murder of crows' laughter explodes in the distance. My focus returns. Female cardinal cuts across my sight line to join her companion. Tufted red-headed woodpecker, high atop tree, trumpets triumphantly. His mate returns the fondness and cannon. And I, quietly in awe, Olivia at my side, excitedly barking with every pass of flight. Have you ever noticed when it rains, birdsong disappears? The hiss and pitter-patter suspends all reverie, as if the only music is the grass greening, bathing in the glory of original ancient waters falling and then rising, cyclically as they have since time began. The ferns smile, kneeling in prayer under the shroud of gray sky, and all is just a hiss, the quenching of thirst as the trees stretch themselves heaven-bound. An autodidact didn't understand the meaning of himself. Looking out into the mirror of the world, he didn't see his reflection. Desperate, searching for eyes to look into, he saw cold steel indifference, while the mantra of the song sung self-victimization. As he drove around on autopilot, this celestial navigator, through endless constellations ever expanding, saw only automatons programmed, addicted to their tech toys, void of what he cried out for most: human contact. Forced to escape, he listened to his heart, yearning to be held with the mutual passion he himself offered, the willingness to hold. I stop, timeless, weightless, looking out into myself, my heart all that moves, this clock beating through all of primordial memory. I listen. The voices within assure me I'm not alone. I hold myself within this perfection, this androgyny out and in self-examination. Blessed be they, all that is possible, united within a singularity, consciousness, flawless, complete, precise, seamless, faultless, unspoiled, total, aware of the self and the world in which I dwell, giving out what I wish for myself, no more, no less. I, the mirror and its reflection. Suspended in the moment, an open tuning, a receiver expanding its sensitivity to all transmissions beyond coincidence, beyond serendipity, a synchronicity for things to happen, an active state of being. Visualize, and it will come. Who is this who stands before me, who fills my consciousness so, who gives me pause to wonder, who lays bare all that is possible, who allows me to reflect in order to change? Who is this whose purpose is my purpose, who gives me focus in order to not grow listless? Who is this light who burns with such passion, who humbles me before you? Who is this gift who allows me to be? Who is this burning bush? Who is this whose fire cannot be quenched? Who has awakened in me who I am? Who is this universe of all and everything? Who, beyond my comprehension, is there for me to find? Who has always been, is, and will always be? Who allows me to become human? Shall I show you the way? I am with thee. I will remind you of what you may have forgotten but have always known, floating on cosmic winds, weaving without and within and through timeless perfection. Such pixelation, a myriad of possibilities, universes in every speck of dust, connected symbiotically to the center of my being, as I am to thee, interdependent, neural synaptic, indelible, ever growing. One more time when time was time because it moved. One more once because I need this restlessness untethered to find me still. Too much motion to discover direction within the very stillness I search for. Weightless, needing to feel the pull, I am scattered, unable to touch down, find my footing, gravity nowhere to right me. I am disconnected to the seamless stream. I am strewn, sprinkled without purpose. I am disseminated, unable to ignite, powerless, incapable, hollow, impotent, empty. Resolute in spite of spent fuel cells, I am focused on the light burning within, though at the moment I am in darkness, the burn no more than a trifle. Where is the oxygen I seek? I wish to rage with flame, white-hot ignition, firing me at light speed into the fathomless expanse that knows no bonds. This thread sewing action together, pearls beaded in series, cohesive and unified, binding me, impenetrable, whole. In this moment, without distraction, sure of my breath, the totality of creation, so dense and monolithic, infinite. To find the spaces between the navigating portals of ownership, the separation through interpretation within the all of existence. How many things the same, yet these spaces bear us different within our quest's unique, splendiferous. Thus, the true value is not the glory of totality, but what we choose to do within it. After the ball is over, after the break of morn, after the dancers leaving, after the stars are gone, many a heart is aching. If you could read them all, many the hopes that have vanished after the ball. 1891 by Charles K. Harris. 2 million copies of sheet music were sold. After the ball is over, when once hope danced through the land, but somehow the music is ended, we're left wanting and don't understand. Once there was something to wish for, where filling our dreams overflowed, when our future was nothing but promise. Just follow the yellow brick road. But if the ball is over and the Wizard of Oz is dead, then Dorothy sold her red slippers, and her home is the street as her bed. And the basket she carries is empty, for Toto was killed by a truck. And the lion, in spite of his courage, is seriously down on his luck. And she wanders from doorstep to doorstep, carrying every possession she owns, no longer looking for rainbows in rags and just skin and bones. And Kansas's wheat fields are deserts, and you can't tell the truth from the lies. And the monkey that always seems airborne is the bullshit, and man, how it flies. Obese Tin Man's mind has all rusted from sugar and GMO'd seeds, and Scarecrow for drugs has been busted, and our water's not safe for our needs, and the climate is surely changing as temperatures start to soar, as well as political madness and the threat of nuclear war. After the ball is over, how do we rise every morn with something to live and die for when our souls are so deeply torn? If ever the ball is over, for we did not save the last dance, then surely it truly is over, as if we ever had a chance. The bomb. You've heard of the atomic bomb. You've heard of the hydrogen bomb. You've heard of the neutron bomb and the desires for a clean bomb, when the most cataclysmic bomb is the one released right now, the destruction of knowing what is true versus a lie. when being conscious no longer exists, when the necessity to educate one's self to the facts is supplanted by narcissism, and the need of affirmation on social media, when evolution, more aptly our devolution, is to solely be brainstem reptilian on automatic pilot. Tar baby. Our modern day tar baby, orange hair, dark nihilist soul, if any, once touched, sticks to you, and you cannot end the contact as you fight to remove yourself, to separate from the distracting toxicity. The more entwined you become, the more you are pulled into the morass, ultimately morphing into the beast himself. Endgame. Waiting for the shoe to drop, this prolonged illness refusing its conclusion, we, up in the air, divided between truths and untruths, a carnival in one act, self-destruction. 11/16/17. The Keystone Pipeline. The very same pipeline the Standing Rock Sioux Indians protested its potential to defile their land. The very same pipeline veterans joined in solidarity to protest. The very same pipeline Trump approved by executive order. The very same pipeline just spilled 210,000 gallons of oil in South Dakota. Within a few days, Nebraska will decide on permits whether we continue to defile our precious Earth Mother with this very same pipeline. November 2017. Nebraska approved. Oh, the selfish, short-sighted power of greed, the reckless abandonment of the social compact to perpetuate regeneration, the blatant refusal to recognize the gifts around us and to perpetually protect them for our children and our children's children, and the continued demonstration of indifference that we are a part within the precious balance where this moment is sacred for the next 7 generations. Every time I sit with thee, as if we're breaking bread, our food, literacy, this Thanksgiving, the essential sustenance of democracy. You are my brethren, my closest family circle, hearing our revelations, the documented proofs, our meditations indelibly inscribed through our witness as we synergistically grow together, evolving our craft, bonding ourselves as one with every word. Etude. You're perfidiously disputatious, not to mention audaciously fallacious, ostentatious and pugnacious, so primitive perhaps Cretaceous, impenetrably crustaceous, your sexuality salacious, sonority flirtatious, and graciously nonetheless spacious. Etude. The obese diabetic needed something cosmetic, not dietetic, and imagined synthetic, that acted frenetic, almost athletic, but it was hypothetic, so just theoretic. Was it genetic to be so phonetic and sympathetic to what's alphabetic? Was this prophetic to be so poetic, electromagnetic, yet apathetic? Peripatetic, rather, pathetic. No honor, no credit, no rooted aesthetic.